Okay, trying this again, hopefully with less technical issues.
I need a quick word.
If I could name the owlbear, I would have named them Hootsifer. For those who don't know, Hootsifer is an owl VTuber friend of the channel. I like that two of the options are pet him.
He looks coyly at the ground, suddenly shy. He sniffs the air and wiggles. He's either miming fighting a many-limbed creature or dancing. It's unclear. He is, however, exhausted. He's had plenty of adventures without you. The joy in the owlbear's eyes is clear. He longs for a home and would love to stay with Shadowheart.
Now, there's a face I know well indeed.
God, I remember one evening.
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking, well. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Oh, I wouldn't bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think? I, me, it's all Volo as far as I'm concerned. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Good song, good company, and good wine from the looks of it.
On my way.
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice. You have no idea who I am, do you? I thought Withers might have set the stage a little. I owe him a favor, one he is eternally invoking. I thought honoring the worthy was a fair price to pay for Withers to pull me out of the fugue plane. Alas, one purgatory to another. Languishing in obscurity. Cyric knew what he was doing when he punished me for that song, the prick. Before I was banished to the fugue plane, I had song prayers coming out the proverbial ears. Guess how many I get now? None.
Musical prayers were once offered to Menil, Lord of Song, a minor deity whose worship faded after offending the trickster god Cyric.
I'm washed up, I'm afraid.
You know.
You're bloody right. It is an honor.
Finally! The scribe picks an adventurer of substance, of culture.
What can I do you for? Fantastical news. Carry on I shall.
God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Here goes nothing.
Beautiful night. I wish it could last forever.
Assassination of Archduke Gortash. I mean, I am an assassin, so I guess it's not technically incorrect.
Suddenly I had a spot of deja vu.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage.
To the hero of the realms, we have followed your adventure closely from the day you fell from that doomed nautiloid to the final blow you struck to the Netherbrain as it loomed over the Sword Coast. We are but a humble guild who pride ourselves in telling stories, not unlike the tales to be written of you for many years to come. How inspired we have been to witness your feats, awesome and terrible, the lives you saved and sundered, the friendships you found. Thus, we thought to extend a greeting to thank you for adventuring with such creative determination, such panache, enough to touch the hearts of each of our number. With deepest gratitude, the Guild of Great Genies. An old acquaintance. I write to you from the sunny porch of the Last Light Inn. A light breeze blows now and then, people are milling in and out. Builders, visitors, the children of all ages in Halcyon's care. I can no longer hold a quill, or eat without assistance. A kind friend is transcribing this for me. Daniel, rejoined with Oliver, has promised to be with me when the end comes. And as our old songs drift on the wind ever louder, I know I have mere days left. But I do not fear it. If not for your help, this land would still be shrouded in darkness, and I'd still be lost within it. Know that my heart is full and happy, and I'm grateful for my last moment. Do visit someday, and if you have the time to stop by an old Flaming Fist's grave, I know I'd love to see you, Art Kolok. That was the person that we saved from the Shadow Realm. Well, that we saved from the coma that they were in after coming out of the Shadow Realm in Act 2. If I recall correctly.
Oh, pardon me.
Salutations! I'm writing to request your help in a mysterious case that has arisen since our little Balian bash a half-year ago. Regrettably, I have had to take the credit for dispelling the Baal cult, in your absence, you understand, and am working on routing the remaining ballasts from our fair city, with the newly promoted Blaze Devella Fountainhead in tow, of course. This has made me a target. A false document bringing my name into ill repute has been made public. An alleged unpaid bar tab at the Elf Song. If you happen to be passing through with a bindle of coin, perhaps you can persuade management of my obvious innocence. Much obliged. Investigator Valera, Sleuth of Helm. Yes, any advice on getting balest blood out of cloth? My hat's not been the same since the murder tribunal. That was the little flying elephant creature that was very annoying. Hero of Baldurs Gate, vanquisher of the Absolute. The city is forever in your debt. For without your valor, your audacity, your sacrifice, it would not know renewal. It is not temples and inns and homes that I speak of, but hearts. Baldurs Gate can never be the city it was before it suffered the Absolute's touch. And that is as it should be. The survivors have borne witness to their homes near destruction. They have come to regret turning a blind eye to the cruelty Gortash disguised as safety and security. And they understand, just as I have come to understand, that trust, compassion, and unity are the foundation of Baldur's Gate. Our gates are open once more to the disowned and displaced. The Flaming Fist will learn to be true servants of the people, and I will devote myself to ridding the gate of the shameful fears that allowed evil to enter our homes and sit at our tables. Yours, Elder Ravengard. Githyanki script, Tier Su adorns one side of the page, the other is written in the common tongue. Chalak, the prince of the comet shines ever bright. Beneath, or breath by breath, battle by battle, Lakith's death draws nearer. We have taken to the astral plane, slaughtered all who must be slaughtered, and spread the air's truth to every possible ear, willing and unwilling. Many Githyanki have already taken up arms with us as warriors of the comet. Others have remained in their enclaves or traveled to creches, dedicating themselves to Orpheus as scribes, spies, and slate scholars. But our allies do not call themselves children of Gith. Do not all call themselves children of Gith. Zareth Menyar Gith, the Githzeri God King, has requested an audience. There was a time when I would have thought such a coalition unspeakable. But Orpheus has spoken. If Lakith is to fall, perhaps the two skies must be made one. Boss, Revere call to Orpheus, Knight of the Comet. Hello, friend. I'm sorry it's been so long. Turns out running a school of bards is a touch more tricky than I thought. Who knew bards were so dramatic? I bought a small rundown house in the lower city and spent weeks putting down floors, replacing the windows. Turns out I'm quite handy with a hammer and nail. When I was relatively sure the roof would hold, I decided it was time to open. I put up posters and took out an advertisement in Baldur's Mouth. Gods, I was so nervous. I kept having nightmares that no one would show. But my goodness, they did. Children from patriarchs to peddlers lined the street. The queue almost went to Rivington. Turns out being friends with the heroes of Baldur's Gate has its upsides. I'm teaching night and day and fall into bed utterly exhausted every night. And I've never been happier. Thank you, my friend. Lots of love, Elfira. Hey you, it's Arabella. You remember me, right? Bone Man once said I needed to find balance. Where creation meets ruin, where morning meets night, the root of all being. Fancy talk. He was right, though. After I touched that idol in the grove, it was like a big tree started to grow in my head, and all these weird thoughts and feelings and powers sprouted on its branches like big black leaves. I had to figure myself out, so I followed the weave like the Bone Man said. I don't know how I knew what to do, I just did. After you squished the brain, Beardman showed up. Said the weave led him to me, and me to him. That must be Elminster. He's teaching me to make sense of all those leaves on my head tree. He says I need to use magic responsibly. He also says not to call him Beardman. I'll let you know how it goes. Small extract from a self-published polemic tabloid. A note is attached to the top. I will not be silenced, Eve. Needling with Edvard. Friends, Baldurians, my people. Consider our loss. Our lauded and benevolent patriarchs maimed. Our great upper city libraries demolished. The very beating heart of our great city. The right to speak freely dead upon the cobbles. You not see it, my friends? Lord Gortash, formerly our greatest bulwark against the Absolute, is now smeared as a collaborator, his allies and colleagues tossed aside, former publications of repute turning to censorious farces. I ask you... The pamphlet continues in much the same fashion. From the desk of Blaze de Villa Fountainhead, High Constable of the Flaming Fist, to Honorary Flaming Fist Junior Inspector Number 3, address provided by Desiccated Skeleton, name of Withers. Greetings and congratulations. I thought naming you Honorary Junior Investigator would go some small way to thanking you for your help with the Bale cult, and should leave me with much less paperwork should we need to draft your help again. We've been doing our best to clean up the remaining Baelists in this city, starting with the Bale Temple. But an absolutely fascinating place, but gods does it reek. That's the thing books about Bale never really get across, the stench. I found a lot of bad stuff in there. You know, they were ritually killing off other Bale spawn? What a waste. I'm hoping the Society of Brilliance can do something with the relics we uncover. Gods know I'd love to visit an exhibit, even if I've seen it all firsthand already. I'd love to catch up and pick your brain on about a few cases whenever you're next in the city. Yours faithfully, De Villa Fountainhead. Yes, I'd avoid the elf song if I were you. Investigator Valeria has racked up quite the tab and has assured the landlord that you promised to settle it next time you're in the city.
So endings, eh?
Yes, endings. Dear friend, I doubted you for so long. Perhaps you knew that already, in spite of my best attempts. You proved yourself time and again, at Joaquin's Rest, in Moonrise Towers, in Worm's Rock, and I still doubted. The Netherbrain's defeat should have proven your courage, yet I was more doubtful than ever. This was a ruse, a dream, a trick. And then, one eve, from the elf song, I heard it sing, a raucous, lewd, tuneless, drunken refrain. I'd never heard anything more terrible and more beautiful. I raised my voice and joined the chorus. That was the moment my doubts melted away and were replaced by something more valuable, hope. Baldurs Gate will be whole again. I might have doubted you, but you never did. With profound admiration, Flora.
How goes the endings?
Well, I mean, we're just kind of reading all these letters that, various NPCs throughout the playthrough have sent me. To whom it may concern, Withers gave me this address and said I could consider writing. Well, I considered it. Return address included. Best Barkis route. I don't even remember who that is. Hey there. Would you mind passing this on to Karlach? Thanks a mil. Karlach, if you're reading this, you're alive. One way or another, you found a way. Thank the gods. I think of you often, wondering what's become of you. Write to me, won't you, please? Yours faithfully, Damon. Hail, my boy. I can only apologize for my absence from Wither's little gathering. As you know, only the most urgent business would keep me from indulging myself in his excellent taste in sweetmeats. And your esteemed company, of course. I was delighted to hear that you came to your senses with regards to that cursed crown, and delighted yet further when I learned that the orb's malingering presence no longer poses any threat. In that sense, at least, I hope you feel Mistress treated you fairly. I trust you're enjoying your adventures, and I have to say I struggle to picture you outside of Waterdeep, or your library for that matter. Whatever escapades you take, be sure to keep your larder well provisioned. After all, one never knows when an old friend might drop by. Elminster. Dear Shadowheart, I hope that you are happy and well. I must keep this short, as I remain surrounded by Shar's followers at almost every waking moment in my new enclave. I dearly wish for you to enjoy your night spent with old friends, and I hope that you and I shall share such a reunion. I know that it must seem strange for me to dwell on such heretical thoughts, yet I cannot help myself. Perhaps one day I shall find some measure of the bravery that you did, and walk away from this life. Until then, I shall keep safe and hold memories of you as my one ember of light amid an ocean of darkness. Until we find each other once again, yours always, Nocturne. I had a dream last night. Not that there were any nights here, or any days. It was a dream about you, all of you, and you were here with me, and I had served bread and jam and oat crackers and cheeses and enough tea to quench a desert. Nibbled and sipped and smiled and laughed, and you asked if I was happy. Nobody has asked that for so long that I don't know if anyone has ever asked at all. I didn't have the words to answer, so instead I led you through my house and showed you all the souls that are here with me. They were Raphael's once, but now they only belong to themselves. The archive is an art gallery, the boudoir is a grand kitchen, and the dungeon is a refuge for any wounded soul or creature that finds its way to us. Am I happy? I don't know, but I am hope, and I persist because of you. Thought I'd reach out first for once. Finally had my baby, a beautiful boy, and can't believe I ever thought of giving him up. He screams his head off half the night, and I've barely slept, but I'm happy, the happiest I've ever been, other than my wedding day, of course. I decided to name him Connor after his dad. With Ethel gone, myself and some other hag survivors have started our own publishing house. We've only printed a few pamphlets so far, but I'm halfway through my first book. Me, an author! It's like something out of a dream. Mind you, it's all about how to kill hags, but you know what they say, write what you know. With every pamphlet we publish, more people show up to our support groups. As happy as that makes me, it breaks my heart to see how much harm Ethel did. But so long as I live, another hag won't set foot in Baldurs Gate. You have my word. Anyway, the reason I'm writing isn't just to talk your ear off, it's to say thank you for saving a scared young girl who thought she'd be a terrible mother. I couldn't have been more wrong. Next time we meet, pints are on me. Irina. I hope my penmanship has improved somewhat in the past months. When I first stumbled into the city, I shook so badly that I could scarcely hold the soup the priest pressed into my hands, let alone write to thank you as you deserve. It is only when the city itself began to shake that I felt my hands grow still, along with the other veterans sheltering at the temple. Discards of Elturel's unworthy legions, I watched that monstrosity rise over the city. We felt no fear, only anger, disgust, purpose, and with it power. I do not know what oath we cling to now, or how long it will last, but we shall use it to ensure this city will not suffer as Elturel did, whether it wants us or not. It's more than thanks alone I owe. No words can make amends for what I did to my people, but that it is as it should be. More come to the temple every day to aid in the relief efforts, and if I am permitted to work alongside them, then I am content. Come and see us when you can, Zevlor. To the Mlagir who freed me, to Lizel, to Lakma-Gir, my words come to you on slate, for they are immutable and eternal. You are not just liberators, you are all warriors of the comet, whatever land you travel, whatever sea you cross, whatever plane you grace. Lakith's pawns fall, one by one, at the hands of my faithful, but the city of death stands, and the queen sits on her vile throne at its center, but we stand at a precipice. Lizel, thanks to you, we are soon to restore an old kinship, and Vlakith will burn in the fires thus stoked. The protocols are written anew, and to you, Mlagir, I dedicate the first. All who call themselves Gith shall unite under one sky. Ithka Tavkin Rash. I don't know how to pronounce that. Orpheus. Cleared out the last of the Bale Colts. Duke Ravengard has been restored.
would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more. Just as I hoped they would, more like. The Oak Father has been kind to me this past while. Yet I cannot forget the bond we all forged together. It is one that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day. I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place.
Your hug. I wonder if Mind Flayer heads are all like squiddy and squishy.
That was more than worth the wait. Apologies. You can probably understand my eagerness. I shall be as gentle as a feather next time.
So
Now,
is this an
we
epilogue
have
kind
much
of
to catch
thing?
up on.
Yeah,
Do not
pretty
allow
much.
me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing. In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Wraithwin have been repurposed into new homes.
By
And
the way,
land
do
is
let me know
rich
if
with
you
harvests
notice any technical
bountiful
issues.
trees.
I ran into a bunch
Nature
of them
and
at the very start of the
civilization are in
stream. I
harmony.
hope they're all ironed out now.
Stronger together.
What kind of issues?
It is, truly. Though a more
anything with
complex,
the audio,
evolving beast
video,
than I
anything
could
like
ever
that.
have anticipated. I spoke often of balance before.
For instance, earlier
Only
the
now
screen
do I
was super
realize the
zoomed in,
balance is
so all
now
you
a
could see was
simple,
like
fixed
people's
thing.
faces,
We
pores, and
welcome
like
folk
nothing
from all
else.
walks of life.
And
Anyone who
there were a
wishes
whole
for
bunch
new
of
start.
audio issues.
Naturally, it
Everything
can be
kept breaking.
chaotic at times, but it is a thrilling sort of chaos.
The more I tried to fix it, the
thrives
more it
in
broke.
ways I could never have dreamed of. You are welcome whenever you like, and for however long you please. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see, my charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake. I am all ears, though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image.
If a beholder has a whole bunch of eyes, is a listener something that's covered in ears?
You have kept yourself busy. I expected no less, in truth. I shall be able to keep the children and... Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else. Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, They are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods as far as I'm concerned. I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago. I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oakfather's creations. But they must learn that not all are as amiable as I am.
Why can you ask for a hug?
A lesson for another time, though. They deserve some joy.
Probably because there was a
As
point
for
where
roaming,
Halsin definitely
impulse
came
has
on to me and
dwindled, I
wanted to
must
date
admit.
me. I did turn him
Perhaps
down,
because
but
have
I guess
found where
he's
I am
still,
meant to be.
you know, pretty into me.
On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid
Basically,
now,
I
and
friend-zoned
by all
Halsin.
accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence. Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company.
Does it do anything?
Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak
Enjoy
again later.
-1 inventory slot.
The Hell's Walker returns. For 2 months, Orpheus trained me in the ways of the comet. For 2 more, I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through Limbo. I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strained word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head. It's nice to hear it. It has taken all of Orpheus's efforts to conjure my projection, and all of mine to convince him to let me come. Worth it, I'd say. I miss this place. This... Fey Run. Shractalor. I wouldn't expect you to. The capital city of the Gitzerai. An exiled people, once kin with mine, until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky into 2. Algish sent word of the rebellion to their god king Zareth Minyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance. I was as surprised as anyone when Orpheus spoke the order. My blade is keen as ever, but it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Minyara Gith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am a warrior of the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free.
I was under the impression gravity was pretty weird in the astral plane.
You've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm. Soon, when the comet has risen, when the Lich Queen has crumbled to dust, I miss this place. More to the point, I miss you. I wouldn't even deny it with Vlaakith's vorpal blade at my neck. Though, I'd rather it not come to that. Now go, mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle. I'll be back one day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away.
Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates of supplies when we could serve food? God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Looking fancy.
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldurs Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel? If thou could only see the paths of fate untaken, thy mind would surely break. Be glad of thy chosen path. It is, after all, thine. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much.
More for me.
Oh, it's the kitty.
Oh, right. You. Hello. Yes, I'm certain it is. As for you, well, I've heard congratulations are in order. You helped Mr. Dakarios save Baldurs Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right? and you made significant sacrifices to your well-being by the looks of things. Yes, I'm sure you are. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able. If you can extract yourself from whatever responsibilities mind flayers might have. We'll send word by pigeon when we've need of you. I used to have a taste for them, but a great many things have changed in recent months. Ta-ta, darling.
And good wine from the look.
Voice sounds kind of familiar.
Nice to return to familiar environs. Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance. She did not. I'm delighted to report. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would. And in return, she cured me of the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. Too good, if anything. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils. Smiling may no longer come easy to you, but I've seen how your tentacles twitch at my jokes. Even the ones I'm not entirely certain I was trying to make. Still, I hoped my students might be a little more open to the playful side of such magic. Oh, they try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay awake.
The cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
Well, to be fair, I am the only one that did end up becoming a mind flayer, which was kind of the bad end death outcome for everybody.
I almost feel sorry for the devils in your path. I mean, I don't, of course. I'm sure they deserve it. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'll be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you. Never fear. My students are as open-minded and generous a bunch as you'll find north of the Chionthar. And I'll remind them of their manners. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower. It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come.
That's all for this episode. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, or join me on Twitch or Twitter. Hope to see you next time on Yukikaze Gaming. Matane!